you doing?
Get in there.
Hopefully fine. Yeah. Oh no.
Are you filming?
Oh no.
Where's that game? Dang it!
Oh, you
No,
know
we're gonna get some snacks.
Stick.
Turvis is my favorite level.
This is my favorite Metroid Prime level.
Hey guys, we're sponsored by Wawa now.
Yeah.
We're just gonna talk about how good it is.
We heard that sponsoring means basically doing this
Yeah.
instead of that.
The green's messing with you. Like it just,
I like it too much.
it's green. It has to be organic, right? None of this is good for you, but this.
That's
Dude.
fine. Oh, I love this song. This is like one of my favorite JT songs.
Is it a JT song? How come he's the only one that survived NSYNC?
I'm addicted to blowing my nose. Is that what you said?
What? That song?
Yeah, man. I'm addicted to blowing my nose.
Oh, I can't stop. My dad's a girl addicted to eating mattresses. Is that a thing? And over to YouTube.
This is the last week for me, and then we can celebrate with more doodles.
You're almost
so
free from
grateful.
your obligations.
Yes.
Lucky you, I'm not. No.
I've been drawing Clef on my downtime, on my lunch breaks.
Just let us know what kind of salary you want, and we can probably give you something lower.
I really don't like celery.
Are you getting paid hourly or in salary? That's a name joke.
Are you done being cold?
No.
You're just exposing your whole body to more cold air.
When I move around, it keeps you warm.
I'm ready to start moving.
Get the heck out of here. Okay. All right, that works. Okay, so I'm trying a new little camera setup here. Okay. This is
It's
gonna be-
amazing.
I can only see like.
He's got
There
two
we go.
cameras.
Oh man, this new phone is so much better quality than mine.
So you have like one really low quality,
Yeah.
one really good quality.
Yeah. Okay. So
It's pretty
it's been like a long time. We've given people
Yeah.
updates, but if you're not on our Discord, then you probably have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so join our Discord.
But for everyone else that is just joining us and been like, what have those guys been up to? There's
Yeah.
so much stuff that's happened that honestly, the video would be too long if we tried to cover each and every little thing. Maybe 95% of it is very technical,
Yeah.
foundational.
Like,
Some of it's not even related directly to like game development. It's like,
I mean,
so-
everything from like local networking to server development to actual game development to just
yeah.
everything in between. We really wanted this build to be out like a week ago, like the full build where you could actually play the game and possibly even have multiplayer and stuff. We really wanted that, and we really wanted to be like, very surprising. Oh, there's a PC build too and everything. But literally the reason why this took so long is because of a whole bunch of other work that has led up to this point.
There's some big milestones I feel like that have been hit
Yeah.
just over the past few months. We launched the website. It was a big one.
Let me get that up real quick.
The second major milestone, which is connected to the website, which is our account system.
And the IDs are live. The account system, I like saying that the account system took like 4 months of planning and 2 months of development. But it took 6 months. Like, I
Yeah.
count that all as development.
Yeah, and this is running now, so I mean, you can go to medleystudiogames.com and create an account. We're not using any third-party anything. I mean, this is a truly
we own-
customized, from scratch account system built by Andrew.
Yeah, maybe. So, this is all public data. Here's the accounts that we have right now. I can't show 90% of what I'm hiding here, but yeah, it's usernames and the time at which they were created, and it's just this is what's useful about having your own ID system. Being able to like have users play together, regardless of platform or location, is huge. It's gonna make matchmaking queues better. Everything. We're really happy to have that working, but yeah, even just that was like 6 months. I think we started working on that, I think it was like August of last year. and the first version of the website and the account services went live January 1st or January 2nd this year. There was also a lot of learning. We were also just trying to figure out what to do with the new game, because it really feels like it's a new game at this point. Everything we can do with it now. This login screen, I think, was about a week of development. Well, we're using an open source engine called Flixel, and so...
Oh yeah, that's probably worth
getting
into. Yeah,
start there.
Because the whole goal is to get a multi-platform game. It's like, what are the ingredients needed to have a game run on literally everything? It's like, okay, an account that's not tied down to one platform, and an engine that can just build to any platform without us having to write, full ports for every single device that we want to get on.
Yeah. We were trying to figure out, is it worth just writing like Gabe said, a full port for Android? And we were thinking, okay, if we just, we already have all the code written for iOS. If we just take all of that and basically do the same thing on Android, it'll work. And that's actually true. We could have used Google Play services instead of Medley ID, which would allow us to do the same trick that we did with leaderboards. We did make the engine ourselves on iOS. We could do the same thing on Android. The thing is that, like Gabe said, the word that he used that was important was a full port. So every line of code gets translated into a different language that's, readable for that native device. Really, there's no way to maintain that if it's all in one. If the whole game is distributed into Java and Objective-C, two totally different versions of the game. There's a couple options that you get with this kind of stuff, but what we ended up landing on was something called Flixel. And Hax is a language that is readable on just about everything because you compile it or transpile it, either one, into different languages. Flixel is an engine, a game engine, that was written on top of OpenFL, and it was made for Hax, to be interfaced with by Hax. Really, you could say that the engine that we're using is essentially OpenFL, and the capabilities from Lime. So any developers out there might know what I'm talking about. The gist of it, though, is it's cross-platform to iOS, Android, Linux, Mac, Windows, and technically Nintendo Switch with a little push and shove. Nintendo Switch. Just research about this thing called Kha. It's Kha.
Oh.
Because we're using the Hax language, it is possible to get the game on Switch without jeopardizing any of the other builds, which is awesome.
And updating will be so much easier too.
Yes. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff that with this we'll even be able to do updates. Sometimes we'll be able to do updates if they're just balance updates over the internet and not through the Steam market or the iOS market or Google Play. So that's going to be pretty huge. I guess something to show off is this. Okay, we've made this huge buzz about Super Plexis becoming a cross-platform game. And, the real problem is a situation where you have multiple versions of the game that, they either don't run the same or they don't look the same. At the very least, you would want it to feel the same. Like it might not be the exact same, but you want it to be as close as possible. So this is an example of what I'm talking about. So what we have is pretty much the same idea. Okay, we have a username and email place where you can put in your stuff, or username or email, and then password, and you can try to log in. You can remember me. All the UI is the same. Okay, but there's a couple things that are different, which is the quit button is missing. So if you look over here, there's a quit button that's missing, and you'll notice that these buttons are structured differently because of it. It's just a slight difference, but that shift literally is what allows us to put the exact same game, the exact same code onto multiple platforms.
Because those are the same builds. It is literally the same build.
We took this kind of far, and literally in real time you can play a portrait version of the UI. You can see how now the text over here has become an icon instead, so that we can save room. The whole structure here has changed completely. The controls even change. So we have, it's a real cross-platform game, by the way. We got controls now. So you can see I'm moving the selector around using the controller. So if I'm on play as guest and I hit down, it doesn't do anything. If I hit left, it goes to quit, okay?
Yeah.
And then if I go up here and I'm on play as guest and I hit left, it doesn't do anything. go down, goes to quit. Those just reversed. Okay. The point is, like, this is stuff that you just don't think about when you're playing a game. But you know, the developer puts some work into it. It's not that much work, but it's to get little things like that working. It shows, like, the little things that you have to be aware of when you're making a cross-platform game that could be played on landscape, could be played in portrait, or anything like that. Now, this is a really, just bear in mind that this is, or keep in mind that this is literally a bunch of sprites and text and stuff, because the Flixel engine is open source, and there's a lot of things in it that don't work quite as you would expect. If you're trying to, you know, make a Steam game that also runs the same on mobile, for example, there were a lot of things that I had to go in and override and I think more often add. What happens if, you know, if we try to rotate, like, you know, a 9 slice or something like that.
Wait, so you're saying this isn't endless mode?
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. It's not.
This isn't like the new game mode?
Yeah.
Oh. Screen sizes and orientations, like, stuff just will not be the same size on every single device. And now we have a system of being able to deal with that while not losing, you know, the fidelity of the art or creating.
That's actually a huge point. Like, supporting all screen sizes is a big deal. And most games don't.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we had to encounter, that we had to confront, was that a lot of different mobile devices that were coming out have really high pixel density. And so the way that you figure out what the pixel density is and then handle it is different, you know, on different platforms. And figuring out a way to automate that so that we don't have to spend just tons of time.
Yeah, that was a milestone in itself, for sure.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people don't realize this, but websites are cross-platform too. Okay, so when you're developing a website, you have to consider what it's going to look like on mobile. You have to consider that you need your account system, if you have one on your website, to be working properly on mobile the same way that it does on desktop, and for all that data to be presented properly. So, like, one of the things that you can do, for example, is you can change your Medley ID username really easily. So mine is just an underscore. That's just what I go with. But, like, what if I wanted to make it, like, just Andrew? I know nobody in the database has that right now. So I'll just do that. That's just my new name. And so, obviously, if I refresh it, you know, it'll say, oh, it's Andrew. But cross-platform even means that the website runs on Firefox. And, like, that is weird to think about. And I know that. It's like, why would you care about that? But
well, because it's not like it's how you would expect it to work. And and it's funny that games don't really have that same standard.
So this is exactly where I'm going. Is like, there will come a time where what you expect to work on Chrome and Firefox to be the same, you will expect that from Xbox and PlayStation and so on.
You're talking about browsers, and, like, that is one of the things we would like to support too. Is like we're pretty sure we can get the game to run in HTML5. You just load it up on a browser.
Yeah. So if we really were to sum it up, what we've been doing is, you know, getting the account system ready and launching it. We launched it. It's like that's to me that's almost as hard as making a game in itself. Like, it took so long to get that working to a production level. And we have a game engine, and we have our own part of the game engine working. We have our own UI tools ready, and as you saw, like, with resizing and regenerating the UI, well, not regenerating the UI, but reforming the UI to work with portrait and landscape. Controller support exists. I can't prove this to you, but there is support for multiple players connected to the same machine, so local multiplayer exists.
I mean, there's so much that, like, hey, we could literally show you the code for stuff that exists, but we're so close to actually being able to show that in a more like visual way, where it's like, really, we just want to, like, give you the information and kind of update, you know, where we're at now. We showed kind of a very early, like, prototype gameplay thing way back during the Kickstarter. We were testing the engine that we now had to work with, and we're like, oh, let's just make sure that we're comfortable in this environment. And you know, you might have seen that clip of, like, blocks moving around. And really, that at that point in development, when we're actually building that content again, it moves pretty quickly. And so up to this point, we've just been putting the finishing touches on all these systems that we've been going over. I guess that's another way of saying, like, the next videos will probably be a little more interesting.
Yeah, this is probably the most boring video.
There'll be a little more meat.
Yeah, we at least wanted to show this because it's, it's kind of like proof of concept for the engine, but really, I mean, like, it's LAN multiplayer is practically effective at this point. And I mean, I'm working on the game server right now, and there's not even like a local game to play. So it's like, we're thinking ahead, and like most of the work that we're doing right at this second, it might not even be evident in the first build that goes out, but
that's probably worth it. Yeah.
It gets us to build 2 and build 3 and build 4 like way faster. So the first build is going to have endless mode, and it's going to have an endless hardcore mode. We're not sure if we're gonna stick with the word hardcore. Everything in beta is up for grabs.
That's like that's like a community challenge. Like, what do we call the classic mode?
Yeah.
And maybe we could call it classic. I don't know, but that's something to talk about.
So in order to appeal to like casual players, the ability to swap in all directions is going to exist no matter what.
Yeah.
But we want a specialized mode where, the hardcore players can go back to that original style. Those 2 game modes are what's going to start just endless, and
it'll give us a chance to refine some of the basic gameplay right out the gate and get feedback.
You might need, I don't know this yet, you might need a medley ID in order to play the first build, because I'm not positive that the play as guest option will be implemented. So so that's a good thing to point out, which is make sure you have that.
And we would like to be able to test medley IDs too, so that's
a big point. Like,
it's helpful to us if people are actually going through the whole process. Like, I've been calling it a preview build. It's probably even like many steps behind even that. It's like pre-alpha, whatever comes before alpha. It's so,
with this build, if you're
bare essentials.
If you're able to play the game and it doesn't crash in the battle engine, and you're actually able to like swap blocks, make matches, do chains, and so on, then it's working. That's the goal of this first build. That's why it's a preview build. You can expect the build in about a week. What we're looking like by the middle of March or earlier than that. What we're looking at right now is really not too complicated. Basically, when you're playing the game, you might just be playing single player, but you're running a game server in the background that's working to keep the game running. Specifically, the actual battle that you're in, the endless battle that you're in.
Yeah.
And what that means basically is that a sort of simulated version of what multiplayer is, online multiplayer, is complete. And so it may have taken us a bit to get to this point, but again, what you'll find is that the first multiplayer build is going to be hitting the ground and obviously running very, very soon after we verify that all this stuff is working.
I wish I could say it was 2 people working on the feature side of stuff, but we've got 1 programmer on the team and we have 1 artist on the team at this point. So this is sort of the pace that things happen at.
Yep.
And it was true, for the iOS version too. It's just that we weren't really, we didn't have like people really waiting for stuff back then.
Yeah.
Like we were kind of just working under the radar, and then we released something when it was pretty much done.
So this first build is you will be able to access it by basically we'll make it publicly downloadable in our Discord. For now, what it's going to be is just a Windows build and an APK, which is an Android like bundle basically.
Yeah.
But the next builds after this, like even just the update to the first build, is going to be in the App Store, Google Play, and Steam Early Access, all public. Yeah. So no test flight, no beta services,
no APK installations manually or anything like that.
Yeah, so this is the only build where it's going to be kind of manual. Controller support will also be in the first build.
Yeah.
So you make sure you test that and let us know if you like it or hate it. That's all I'm going to say for now. But if you think that playing 1v1 online is cool, like just wait.
Yeah.
Because it's not where it stops. Oh, I should show this real quick too. So yeah, you can log in.
Oh yeah. That little line is Andrew's username. I'm zooming in right now.
Oh, okay, and if you look over here, it actually says that it was the wrong login. Oh shit. Okay, so the reason why is because I actually changed my username to just my first name. Oh man, do I really have the wrong password? What? Oh, I typed it wrong again. I know I did. There we go. Yeah, there you go, baby. Like, I'll just keep running it. I don't care. I'm logging in over and over
Look
and
at all
over
the
again.
successful logins you've got. Wow.
Oh, I just got an error because of too many requests. I just got rate limited. I got rate limited by our own account server,
Yes,
which is
sir.
great.
By your own system.
It's really good that worked. Anyway, there's services that are working, but you can't see them right now. So this is I'm just trying to show one example of that.
We considered even, you know, releasing this as a build.
Yeah.
Just because we're like, man, this is like taking so long to get out. And it's like, we just want to give them something. But while maybe 10 of you might appreciate it, you know, it only really makes sense to actually give a build to you guys when there's like something to do in it.
Dude, I have a controller and I'm playing a video game.
Wow.
Why won't it let me log in?
All right, what the heck just happened? We were...
I don't understand.
We've never tested the game on a Mac before. And it's working. We literally just
All right.
set up.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's really bad. In our
Plays on the Mac.
Already.
Yeah, do you have a controller?
Yeah,
I
Plug in
don't
USB.
even
Except-
understand.
So
We honestly, we were sitting here like, well,
we've never tested the
we're
game
gonna
on
let
Mac.
this fail.
Just like
Did you even know it could do that?
No.
Well, we knew that it could, but we thought that we needed Xcode to do it.
Let's just keep going until it crashes, and then we'll figure it out
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
And then
Do
it's
you want me to
and
hold? I'll hold yours.
freaking
Sure,
work.
thanks.
Yeah.
That is absolutely nuts. We're gonna test
If-
controller support. Is it supposed to flash or anything?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, that's
Oh, the
fine.
light's on in the back. It was on.
Yeah, that's.
Oh.
Dude, it's working. All right, let's resize it. Or is it like function alt option?
Oh yeah, try that. There
Yes!
you go.
Oh, dude.
All right.
Okay, so resizing. Let's test that out. Boom, baby.
Holy moly.
Look at that.
Alright.
Keep
All right,
going.
that options button
Scrunch it
should
all the
turn
way.
into
Yes,
an
how?
icon, and it does. Look at that. And oh my god, the game server's running in the background. That's the game server.
Andrew, I think your phone died.
Let's try logging in. So I'm gonna type in my stuff.
I guess we have all the.
Andrew, QT.
Playing on that.
Dude, how did this
This
work?
is so. I wish I was recording the moment that it
I logged
actually
in.
worked.
It worked. I logged in.
Oh my god.
We have the HTTP stuff for. Dude,
That's.
we've never run the game on a Mac before. And everything is working.
Hey, thanks, Flixel. You're pretty.
I'm gonna write the foundation
You're pretty good.
about this to tell them about this experience. Let's see who can do the best one. So all three of us should do it. So I'll go first just to get it over with, right?
Turn this other light.
Here's the things why I'm gonna Bye bye.
Oh, hey guys, I'm just gonna say, I can't do it. What am I supposed to say? Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Hi guys, just like and subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Follow me on Twitter,
Follow
Instagram.
me on Twitter, Instagram, Twitter.
But that. See, people
But I can't-
have already closed the tab. Like you're doing it way too slow.
Dang it!
And so you have to get the whole
Why am I
thing
saying,
out.
hey guys, if
before
it's the
they
end of the
click away.
video?
Alright.
Hey guys, why don't you smash that like button, like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on Facebook and Twitter. All right, see ya. It's just a video ends.
It's the entire
It's like a 6-second video.
video. See ya.